Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another cold cut, giving, of course, all honor and all glory to Yahweh Bashima Mashiach or Malak Bashai. Double honors to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming. Slakia for Mashiach or Malak Bashai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice, and enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there in the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying, they're fasting, they're studying, they're being diligent and abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom, shalom. Shalom to all of the Akwath out there, the sisters out there, holding it down in the households, married and unmarried, those that attend upon the Lord without distraction, the children, the ancient men. Shabbat shalom. Wa happy new moon, right? Ashar Kadash, happy new moon to the 12 tribes of Israel, tuning in live, scattered abroad, the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, right? So, like, you bear with me. Okay, Khan. Shalom, Don Israel, Vernon Brody, D-Vash Branch, Bruce Likeness, T. Sellers, Brother Azariah, Shalom King, Jadis Delphius, Richard Perez, Tasia, so like if I'm butchering that name, Israel, Antoine Ford, Ancients New Why Don't We, HBK Ent, Love Pius, Renee A, Nigel Blends, Adawan Zion, Yvette McKellar, Yafei Israel, Ephraimite Ott, and everybody else tuning in, Slaki, and will tune in, Lord willing. The new heavens, the new earth, and the new moon. It is the 12th moon of the year, right? It is the 12th moon of the year. This is what you call your biblical month of Adar, right? Your biblical month of Adar through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. It is the 12th month of the year. All praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. 12 tribes of Israel, 12th month of the year, right? You got the 12 foundations of the city of heaven, the kingdom of heaven, right? Written in with the 12 apostles of the Lamb. You have the 12 stones of the ephod. I mean, the number 12 is all throughout the scriptures, right? So this is a beautiful month, a spiritual month. It is the 12th month, right, of the year. And we're going to go in a spirit of renewness or renewing, in the spirit of the new moon, we're going to go into the new heavens and the new earth, right? And we'll show how the new directly correlates to the new heavens and the new earth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. So first and foremost, right, let's go to the book of First Samuel, right, just to get a quick basis, because I want to deal with this word new moon, right? The new moon is the first month of the year, right? Remember, the Most High said in Genesis, right, just to put this foundation out there, Genesis 1:14. And God said, even though again, this word God is Elohim, right? We cover that all the time. It's Yahweh Shai, the angels, the powers, right? But it's translated in the English as God. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And these lights in the firmament, not 93 million miles away, somewhere in a galaxy far beyond, right? But within the firmament, you have the sun, you have the moon, and you have the stars, right? And the moon and the stars are set up to let you know it's nighttime, and the sun is out to let you know it's day, right? And they're also for signs, meaning omens. They're for warnings, for judgments of agriculture, horticulture, to let you know when it's a harvest time, right? When it's a sign for animals. A lot of animals breed around the time of the full moon. It's a sign for eclipses to let you know the Most High is about to touch the earth. Therefore, appointed times and feast days that account your days, that deal with hours, and therefore years, right? You have cycles of years, right? You deal with the solar cycle, you have a lunar cycle. So that's the purpose of the sun and the moon. We did an in-depth breakdown on the last new moon, just touching on the details of the sun and the moon and the stars. Right now, you have something called your new moon. Remember, your new moon comes in every 29.5 days or so. Okay. Now, when you're dealing with the new moon, let's get an account of the new moon being kept. Right. This is First Samuel chapter 20:5. And David said unto Jonathan, behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go that I may hide myself in the field until the third day at even. Now, the point I want is I want to touch on this word new moon. Right? He said, tomorrow is the new moon. Now, this word is Kadash, right? And it says the new month. It's like the new moon month or monthly. The first day of the month, the lunar month. Now, again, when you see the moon and it goes through its phases, it starts off as what men call a dark moon, and then it turns into a waxing crescent, then it turns into a waxing gibbous, then it turns into a full moon, right? That's how the moon works. Then once the full moon, it wanes back down, a waning gibbous, crescent, all the way down to a new moon. So when you have a new moon, again, it's not a literal new moon being created by the Most High. He already created one moon, right? There's no planet that has 5 moons and this planet has 10 moons. There's one moon created by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So when it says new moon, it's a refreshed moon, a renewed moon, right? And then when the moon increases in light, it builds itself up, right? So the word new really doesn't mean literal new. It just means it refreshed. You understand? Just like the earth is going to be refreshed. Just like the earth is going to get rebuilt back up in light. It's going to be a great reset. There's something that they're always talking about, a great reset, where the so-called Illuminati, the New World Order, they have this agenda and these plans where they want to create the chaos and wars and pestilence and destruction and reset the earth to establish their laws, their commandments, and this New World Order. And they call it the Great Reset. Well, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, he has a great reset, right? And his great reset is when the kingdom of heaven is established on the earth. Right now, when you jump down, it says newness. All right, newness. So it's not a literal new moon, but it's in the spirit of newness, right? In the spirit of refreshing. That's that word Kadash. All right, for the word, right? And then let's go to Psalms chapter 81. Right, let's go to Psalms chapter 81 through the spirit, right? For the spirit of a new moon, right? Psalms chapter 81:3. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon and the time appointed on our solemn feast day, right? And this is talking about blowing the trumpet, dealing with the time of Exodus, chiefly in the Passover. Now, again, we'll go into this word, new moon, right? And it's the same thing in Psalms 81. And it says new month, new moon, lunar month. All right, that's literally what it means. It means to rebuild or to refresh and light. When you look at the phases of the moon. All right, let's pull up the phases of the moon so we can look at this again. And we brought this out plenty of times, but that's okay. You have your new moon. And no, your full moon is not your new moon. Your full moon is your full moon. Your new moon is your new moon. Anybody that says otherwise, I mean, it's just a lack of the spirit working with it. All right, the spirit is against you if you're saying the full moon is the new moon. I'm gonna just put that out there. Nevertheless, you have your new moon is what men call a dark moon. You don't see the word dark moon in the Bible. It's called the new moon, right? Then you have a full moon mentioned in the Bible. So you have your new moon, then it increases in light, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous. Then it builds itself up to perfection. And then it wanes back down. You have your waning gibbous, right? Third quarter, waning crescent, and it restarts all over again. So right now, we're in the process of building up in light to reach perfection. And right now, the earth is in darkness, right? The earth is in a spirit of chaos, man. I mean, you have wars. You have rumors of wars. You have them economies on the verge of imploding from the inside out. Look what's going on in Europe, man. You know, the Most High said there would be seditions among men in 2nd Ezra chapter 15, right? So you got Germany, you got these European nations ready to overthrow their governments, right? You got truckers blockading highways. You have Ukraine on the verge of being destroyed in war. You know, you got interviews with world leaders exposing the wickedness of America and the Illuministic ones. So the world is in a state of chaos. It's in gross darkness. This is where the earth is right now. But the earth it's being refreshed, and it's about to get built back up to perfection. And that's going to be the job of the saints, to build this earth back up and to a state of perfection, right? And to the new heavens and the new earth. Let's go to Sirach chapter 43, right? It's lucky. Let me get to 16:11. I always do that, right? Let's go to, and then we're going to go into the kingdom of heaven and how it's going to look and how we're going to get there, how we're going to build this kingdom of heaven up. The same way during the time of the new moon, it's a reminder for us to build ourselves up, right? It's a time for us to remember that we were in darkness, that we lived in lies, that we lived in confusion. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua had mercy upon us and brought us into the spirit of light. And the Most High is going to use that light to take the earth out of darkness to create the new heavens and the new earth, right? A refreshed heavens, a refreshed earth. Ecclesiasticus chapter 43 and verse 6. Now, when you read Sirach 43, 1 through about, I believe, 12, right? Really, I mean, most of this chapter, around 13 or 12, it goes into the firmament. And it goes into the sun and the moon and the stars and the rainbow and the clouds, right? Now, I'm going to touch on the moon. Sirach 43 and 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. So each moon comes in its respective season, right? After its respective cycle, right? 29.5 days, 30 days or so, right? And it's a sign of the world, right? It's a sign to let you know when a feast day is coming in, whether it's a new moon or a new month. It's a sign to let you know that it is the harvest time, depending on what moon is in, right? The first moon, the seventh moon, or whatever the case may be. It's a sign when there's an eclipse or a blood moon. It's a sign of the world, right? The moon communicates to you the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and how man should conduct themselves on the earth. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. So the moon, it builds itself up to perfection, and then it decreases in light. All right. But the point is, in order to reach perfection, you have to build up to perfection. You have to build up to that level. Just like anything in life. If you want to be a master at martial arts, it's not, you're not born with those talents and gifts. You have to train, right? You have to hit the gym. You have to go to the damn dojo or learn karate or jiu-jitsu or whatever it takes, man. You be a disciple and learn from the master. Then you're a white belt. Then I believe you like a green belt or a blue belt, whatever the case is. The green belt, and then in your perfection, you hit the black belt. You have to build up to perfection. And that's how this earth is about to be. The earth is in darkness, and we're going to build it back up to perfection. All right. Verse 8. The month is called after her name. These are the things you have to think about during the time of the new moon. It's not just a time of drinking wine and being in mirth, right? Which those things are gifts given to us by the Most High, and you should be in mirth, but the spiritual mind should kick in, and you should be meditating also on what this new moon means on a practical and a prophetic level, right? On one level, it's also the moon is telling us, okay, remember, you were in darkness. You have to increase in light. You cannot revert back into the same man that you was. Every day is a day to increase. Even if you fall, it's a day to do better. The moon teaches us that the earth is in darkness. It's a constant reminder of the hell that we live in as well, right? That we have to deal with sodomy and freakism and tainted foods and defiled air. But as we see that light increase, it reminds us that in a certain time, and even now, the earth is getting built back up in light. That's why the Israelites are waking up. That's why we're coming back to the Most High. We're learning our heritage. We're praying to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? And these things are happening to build the earth back up to the estate that the Most High wants it to be in. From the time of old in Genesis, a paradise. The earth will return to a paradise. It will be an Eden all over again. And a garden will be planted eastward in Eden again. And a man that is formed, the elect, is going to be put in that garden to dress it and to keep it again. And he will not fall again. All right. So the month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully, and her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven. All right, so the moon increases in light. And again, we're going to show you how the same way that the moon increases in light, not only do we increase in light, but this earth is about to be built back in light. The nations being put in slavery, that's part of this earth being increased in light. The temple being built again, that's a part of the earth being increased in light. Yahushua destroying the nations. All of that is an amalgamation of the earth being built back up in light again. Right? Let's go to the book of Genesis, chapter 1. Right? Let's go back to Genesis, the first chapter, and let's read verse 2. I'm going to start at 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now, this is speaking about the actual creation, right? But again, you have really the old heaven and the old earth, which is the state that you live in now. And you have a new heaven and a new earth, right? Let's prove that, right? So the Most High creates every heaven and every earth. Right now in Genesis 1, it's speaking about the actual heaven and the earth. But on a spiritual level, the Most High created this heaven and this earth. He set Esau up. He set these nations up. The Most High set the earth in the estate that it's in now. Right? This Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. So right now you live in the old heaven and the old earth. And we're trying to get back to, or we are getting back, not trying, we are getting back to the new heavens and the new earth. And we'll talk about what's going to be in the new heavens and the new earth. This is not the new heavens and the new earth now. This is the old heaven, the old earth, right? The former world, or the present evil world, rather, wherein dwelleth sin, ungodliness, impiety, and lust and madness. All of that is part of the old heaven and the old earth. And the Most High created that too, right? So Genesis goes into the creation of the literal heavens and the earth, but on a spiritual level, the Most High creates every heaven and earth. He's going to create the new heavens and the new earth. He created this heaven and this earth, right? Verse 2. And if you got eyes to see, you'll see how even a creation of the heavens and the earth is being played out now. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the earth is without form and void right now, and darkness is upon the face of the deep. What is the darkness? The lies, the deception. Even though this is literal, but we're breaking it down twofold, right? The Lord said in Job, right? Because you say, well, I don't understand. I thought that was talking about back then, right? This is Job chapter 11 and 6. And that he will show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know therefore that the Most High exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth. So certain things in the scriptures are double fold. Certain things are even triple fold in the Bible. So you can break things down on multiple levels. Like when you peel back an onion and you got more layers and more layers, a lot of scriptures have more layers, and you can apply them in various ways. Same thing in Genesis, right? You see darkness upon the face of the deep. You see the nations in power. You see lies. You see religion. You see politics. The deep that is speaking about are the waters, and the waters are the nations, right? So right now you're in that time of darkness. When you can't see the moon and it's darkness, it's a reminder of darkness being upon the face of the deep, right? Let's go into that. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 60, right? Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. So that's the same thing in Genesis. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. And gross darkness, meaning massive darkness, thick darkness, and gross darkness upon the people. But Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. So darkness is here, man. You got women being men. You got men turning into women. You got men turning into animals. You got animals marrying people. You got just corruption and darkness upon the face of the deep. Let's go to Isaiah 25 and verse 7. Isaiah chapter 25 and 7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. Imagine having a veil over your face trying to walk around. You're in darkness. You're blinded. You can't see. And everybody's in a crooked path walking into death. Well, but what is the Most High saying here? He's going to destroy in this mountain, meaning in this kingdom. A mountain is the kingdom. It's not Mount Everest. It's not Mount Nebo. It's not Mount Kilimanjaro. The mountain is Babylon the Great. Mountains are kingdoms in the Bible. Read Isaiah 2, Micah 4, Jeremiah 3:23, right? Revelation chapter 17. And you read about mountains being kingdoms. But the Most High in America, he's about to destroy the face of covering cast over all people. So he's going to destroy what creates the darkness. And who's creating the darkness? These illuministic ones, the politicians, the world leaders. They're the ones telling this so-called black man he's it's like you're telling an Israelite man he's a black man. Telling the ancient Issacharite that he's a Mexican. That's darkness. Telling us that our Lord is the so-called white man. So he is the one covering the earth with gross darkness and putting a veil over everybody's face, man. So darkness is upon the face of the deep. Now remember, the deep, it means waters. And remember, men are likened unto waters in the Bible. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 144, if I'm not mistaken, right? Psalms chapter 144 and verse, let's see. Right, bear with me. I believe I want Psalms. 144 and 7, right? Psalms chapter 144 and 7. Send thine hand from above, rid me, and deliver me out of great waters, from the hand of strange children. So the great waters or the deep are likened unto strange children. Okay, and we go over this all the time. You'll see that comparison between men and waters. And even today, you see that played out. When people do the wave, that's men likening themselves to waters. At a concert or at a sports venue or arena, you have rappers and celebrities that crowd surf. They're surfing upon the waters, and the waters are the people. There's a famous saying called a sea of people, right? Men are likened unto waves. In James, the first chapter, double-minded man is likened to a wave driven with the wind and tossed, that will not receive anything from the Lord. All right? So you see that played out where men are these waters. Isaiah chapter 17 and verse 13. Woe to the multitude of many people, which make a noise like the noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. Right? Right? You have a flood of people, man. Right? They came in like a flood. There's something called the tides of war. Right? When you study war history and you study battle strategies and the ins and outs of war, there's something called the tides of war, where you have men like that speak about the Persians and the Greeks, right? The tides of war really didn't change because Alexander the Great always had the upper hand. But in certain wars, the tides changed. When the Greeks fought the Persians during the time of Darius the First, right? During the time of the Athenians, the tides of war changed. Sometimes the Greek city-states would win. Sometimes the Persians would win. And they called it the tides of war because men are likened to waters or the tides. All right. So darkness right now is upon the face of the deep. Right? Right now, this is the earth. Darkness is upon the face of the deep. It reads, and God said, let there be light. And there was light. And this light that he created is not Yahushua. The light that he created is not, he didn't create, the Son of God. And that's the light right there. No. When you get the understanding, Yahushua is the one that created this light. Right? This light that is speaking about is an external light. Okay, outside of the firmament, and a light that manifests itself through the creation so the works of the Most High can be seen, right? It is a light to create visibility and transparency upon the works of the Most High, so his works can be magnified, and all of the angels and men may see the creation that is about to take place in this time, right? And you read about that and then another account of the creation in Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, right? Let's go to Second Ezra chapter 6. This is Second Ezra because Second Ezra goes into the creation as well. Second Ezra chapter 6 and 39. And then was the Spirit. And I'm going to start at 38. And I said, O Lord, thou spakest from the beginning of the creation, even the first day, and saidest thus, let heaven and earth be made, and thy word was a perfect work. Like even now, the Lord said, let heaven and earth be made. He let Esau receive power. That's why he said, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Because he set Lucifer up. He set Esau up. He gave them, it's like a war technology. He gave them global dominance. He gave them an economy. He gave them military prowess. He let this heaven and this earth be made. He's the one that subjugated us under these curses. He's the one that created the earth and its present evil state. Right? So the Most High always said, let the heaven and earth be made. He said it in the creation. He said it when the blessing was given to Esau. And he's going to say it again when the kingdom of heaven is established. Let the heaven and earth be made. And that's what we want to go into. We want to go into the new heavens and the new earth that will be made. Right? But Ezra speaking about the creation. Verse 39, and then was the Spirit, and darkness and silence were on every side. The sound of man's voice was not yet formed. Here's the point. Then commandest thou a fair light to come forth of thy treasures, that thy work might appear. So that's the purpose of the light, that his work might appear. It's not as if the work didn't exist, because darkness doesn't take away the fact that something is there. All darkness does is cover where you can't see it. So if the Most High created all things and you couldn't see it, how could you praise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua for the works that he has done? So he created the light that men may see and glory, and the angels may praise Yahweh for the work that he has done. That is the light that is created in Genesis, right? Now on the spiritual level, the Most High is creating another light. Let there be light on a spiritual level. And a spiritual light that is being made manifest is this truth. All right. And as you deal with the new moon and how it increases, right? Remember, the new moon increases in light. And the Most High has this light manifest. Then he increases in light and to perfection. Right? So right now, we're in this process on a spiritual level. We're not at perfection yet, because we're still in captivity. We still have bills. We have to pay rent. We're subject to the curses, right? So right now, you know, we're pretty much at first quarter or waxing gibbous on a spiritual level. All right, because the elect are almost sealed up. Many prophecies have already come to pass. We have a few more prophecies that still have to happen. We got to put the nations in captivity, etc. Right now, we're around this first quarter waxing gibbous on a spiritual level. But the Most High, one time we were here, and that's when the truth was made manifest. That was that light that appeared and gave us understanding, right? Let's go to John on a spiritual level, right? John chapter 8, right? Salakia. Let's go to John chapter 8 and verse 12. All right. Then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. So if you follow this truth, you're obedient to the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You accept the blood of Yahushua through faith, and you are keeping the commandments, then you'll have the light of life, man. And this light is what's going to take us from darkness unto perfection. And that is the light that we have to follow through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. We're trying to obtain perfection, all right? And that full moon is likened unto perfection. You even have men in the Bible that are likened unto the full moon, all right? When you go to Ecclesiasticus, the 50th chapter, right? I believe this goes into Simon. Come. So this says Sirach 50:1, right? It reads, Simon, the high priest, the son of Onias, who in his life repaired the house again, and in his days fortified the temple. And by him was built from the foundation, the double height, the high fortress of the wall about the temple. And his days, the cistern to receive water, being a compass as the sea, was covered with plates of brass. He took care of the temple, that it should not fall, and fortified the city after besieging. How was he honored in the midst of the people and his coming out of the sanctuary? Because he was glorious, man. Slaki. When these priests, Slaki, bear with me, had their garments on, they had the bells around it with the fringes and a mitre that said holiness to the Lord. And these men were glorious, man. Right? It reads, he was as the morning star in the midst of a cloud, and as the moon at the full. How come he wasn't likened to a new moon, or darkness, or confusion like this world? This moon is, this earth is not like at the moon at the full now. This earth is in darkness. We read it. It's a confusion. It's freakism, madness, all types of demons, man. You can't walk anywhere without running across a demon. And every week at camp has been nothing but, not nothing but demons, but a lot of demons coming out, man. So we know we're not at the point where we're at the moon at the full. And we all want to get to the point of Simon and be as the moon at the full. Be full of light. We want the earth to be as the moon at the full and be perfect and full of light and glory and laws and order. And we will get there. Just like Simon. You think Simon, the son of Onias, was born out the womb as the moon at the full? No, he had to increase it in light. We read what happened. He had to build the temple. He had to put the garments on. He had to know the law. He had to been taught the law. He had to win the love of the congregation. He had to serve the Most High. The Most High honored him. And then he became, after all of the works and labor, he became as the moon at the full. So you have to labor to become as the moon at the full. Right? Even Israel, we're likened unto a moon as a people. Right? Let's go to Song of Solomon, chapter 6. Right? Let's go to Song of Solomon, chapter 6 and verse 8. All right, Song of Solomon 6 and 8. Now remember, Song of Solomon is not literal. It is a poetic, parabolic way that describes two dynamics. The first one is a man's relationship, actually three, a man's relationship between himself and wisdom. The second dynamic is the relationship between the Yahawashi and church, and the church, right, or Israel. And the third one is Solomon and the woman, right? But really it's going into a man's experiences in life, how he deals with wisdom and his relationship with this truth, and what happens to him as he walks in the land of the living, right? From him waking up to the truth, you read accounts of the spirit leaving him, and these things are written, right, in Song of Solomon. Now I'm going to read verse 8 through 10 to show that Israel, like Solomon, is likened to a moon, all right? There are, Song of Solomon 6 and 8, there are 80 queens and 80 concubines and virgins without number. And that's speaking about the nations, right? You have many nations, tribes, languages, right? Tongues, peoples. They're the queens and concubines and virgins without number. But they're not like Israel. And that's what verse 9 is telling you. My dove, my undefiled, is but one. She is the only one of her mother. She is the choice one of her that bare her. The daughter saw her and blessed her. Yea, the queens and the concubines, they praised her, because Israel is the chosen one. We're the dove of the Most High. We're the sheep. We're the apple of his eye. Our mother is wisdom. We were born again through wisdom. That's what it says. She is the choice one of her that bare her. And as the proverb says, as is the mother, so is the daughter. So we're growing up into the spirit of our mother wisdom. And these other nations see us. And they know that we're the chosen ones. That's what it's saying. The daughter saw her, the queens and the concubines, right? Verse 10. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners. So this is the same thing of Simon, right? He was as the morning star. Song of Solomon. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning? Right? For Simon, it said, and as the moon at the full. And Song of Solomon, it says, fair as the moon. And it's speaking about the full moon. So at one point, we're going to become full of light. So Solomon saw Israel in our glory. Right? He saw us terrible, fierce, in order, in rank, and in structure, ready to take the nations down, being glorified. That's what he saw. Same thing that John saw the bride in Revelation, the 19th chapter. So we're going to become full of light and perfected. And once we become perfected and full of light, we're going to take that light and take this earth into perfection as well. Right? We're going to take this earth and put it in perfection. All right, let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. Right? 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. It reads, for the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, hath shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of the Most High and the face of Yahushua Mashiach. Salakia. So what does it say? The Most High took, just like in the creation, he extracted light out of the darkness. All right, it's not as if light didn't exist, but he pulled the light out of the darkness. And that light on a spiritual level, he put it in our hearts. That's what we showed you. Even Genesis, not only is it literal, but it's double fold. Because even the Apostle Paul is breaking it down that way. The Apostle Paul is breaking it down the exact same way. He's showing you how Genesis is applied to this truth on a spiritual level. That's why the Lord requires that which is past. There's no new thing under the sun. So that light that was put out of darkness is now in our mind. When he said, let there be light, that is the light that's shining in our spirits. That's how we know this truth. That's how we know this understanding. That's so we can cut down doctrines and be filled with the Holy Spirit to edify the church. Because that light is now in our hearts. And the purpose of that light is not to move in pride. It's not to receive vainglory. That light is to give that light. Right? It is much better to give than to receive. Right? The Apostle Paul said that through the Spirit of the Most High. Right? As freely as thou hast received, freely give. So the light that we have, we're supposed to give that light. Like the moon. The Most High gave the moon light, and that light is to a service unto man. To give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God and the face of Yahushua HaMashiach. And that's the main light that's going to be used to take this earth from darkness to perfection. We're taking that light from Genesis, from the creation, to create the heavens and the earth all over again. That's what we're doing. We're literally going to create the heavens and the earth all over again. Right? On a spiritual level, we're going to reestablish structure. We're going to subdue these nations. We're going to enforce the laws, right? The statutes, the commandments, right? These things are going to happen, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Luke. Actually, let's go to 2 Peter. All right, well, let me get Luke, right? I had this precept. I had a lot of precepts written down, right? But let's go to Luke, right? 11 and 34. Let's read this. It reads, the light of the body is the eye. Therefore, when thine eye is single, thy whole body also is full of light. Like Simon, his eye was single, he was focused on Israel, and his body became full of light as the moon. When we as a people repent and come back to Yahweh Shema Shai, and we're in agreements with the covenant, our whole body becomes full of light. Right? But when thine eye is evil, thy body is also full of darkness. And that's why the earth is in this state right now. Because the so-called white man's eye is evil, full of murder and covetousness and extortion and lies and theft. We, on the other hand, we're full of light. All right? We're full of light. So let's go back to this. Verse 35. Take heed, therefore, that the light which is in thee be not darkness. If thy whole body therefore be full of light, having no part dark. See, right now we have the earth and a part of darkness. Because even though you have light, some part is still dark. That's why we see right now the earth is like in this waxing gibbous level. Because this light part is the truth. The elect waking up. The servants of the Most High. Husbands loving their wives. Wives being submissive to their husbands. Children being raised in the fear of the Lord. Congregations being established in brotherhoods. Right now, we have part light, but then there's a part that's darkness. Right? You can't have light and darkness. So right now, we're taking over this darkness in a war, a spiritual war. And darkness is losing the battle. Darkness is slowly losing this battle, and the light is prevailing. All right? So back in Luke and 36, it says, if thy whole body therefore be full of light, having no part dark, the whole shall be full of light, as when the bright shining of a candle doth give thee light. Right? And let's actually go into it. Let's go into how we're going to get this earth full of light, huh? Because there is a new heavens and a new earth coming. Right? There is a new heavens and a new earth coming that will be full of light. And we're building up to that point. Right? So right now, like I said, we're in that waxing gibbous stage where we're looking for the new heavens and the new earth. Right? And that's what the new moon teaches us. Right? That it's a refreshing, it's a build up in light. All right, to hit perfection. So this is and again, the word new heavens just means a refreshed heavens. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Now, when it says the heavens are going to pass away, that's the old heavens. That's the old earth. That's America. That's the rest of NATO, the EU, right? That's the Moabites. That's Putin and the Russians and the North Korean man of Kim Jong-un, right? They all are the leaders of the first heaven. But this heaven is about to pass away. All these rulerships, all these powers. The great noise is the boom of the trumpet and of the nuclear missiles, where everything is burnt up, right? Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Looking forward, meaning you see, if you know that destruction is coming, brothers should be getting their spirit right. Looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. And that's what this new moon is telling us again. We're looking for a new heavens, a refreshed heavens. As much as this is not a literal new moon, it's just a refreshed cycle. That's how it's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. It's not going to be a new earth. It's going to be a refreshed earth where the water is clean. The air is breathable. The animals are in peace. The trees aren't being massively slaughtered and cut down. The nations are in order. We look for a new heavens and the new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness, a refreshed estate. And we're building up to that point now, right? So this word new, again, just to show you it's not literal, that word in the Greek is kainos. And it says recently made fresh, recent, unused, unworn, right? As respects of substance, it says it's like a fresh, recent, unused, unworn, of a new kind, unprecedented, novel, uncommon, unheard of. Now, when you go into it, it says new, especially in freshness. It's so properly so with respect to age, new, right? So it's literally talking about being reborn, right? Or refreshed. All right, refreshed all over again. Now, here's that word, the root word, right? The root of that word is neos. Right? You get to where neophyte, right? And it says recently born, because that's how the kingdom is going to be. It's going to be a newborn kingdom. Okay, not like these old kingdoms have been around for thousands of years. All right, new of persons youthful, of things fresh, figuratively regenerate, new or young. Right, like we've been born again, newborn babes. We're new in this truth. We're growing. This is us being regenerated. Right? The old man is dead and you're born through the regeneration again on a spiritual level. You're regenerated on a physical level, but on a parabolic level, you're regenerated as well because the old man died and you're born again through the washing of regeneration. You see? So this is a figurative new heavens and a new earth. All right? That Peter is making reference to. Let's go to 2 Peter chapter 3 again. Right? 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse, let's read that again. 2 Peter chapter 3 and 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens, meaning a refreshed heavens, a figuratively new heavens, and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Right? That's what we're looking forward to. Right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, the 21st chapter. Right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 21. Right? So it's our job to take the earth from here and build it up in light, to make it refreshed, to have it or build it up to perfection. Right? It's our job to take the earth from here and build this up in light. And I'm going to put this out there. You're not going to be able to do that if you're not building yourself up in light. You got to build yourself up in light, and then we all come together as this light to take the earth back into perfection. Right? The earth is going to be put back in a perfected state where no part is dark, like we read in the book of Luke. Right? And that can only come through repentance. All right. Now, right now, again, we're in this waxing gibbous stage. We're around the waxing gibbous stage on a spiritual level. All right. So let's go back to this. Revelation chapter 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. So John saw the Israelites in power. That's the new heaven and the new earth. The earth is not going to be completely destroyed. There's no man that's going to press a button and destroy the earth. That's folly. All these sins, he saw the 144,000. He saw Yahweh Shai. He saw the saints in power. And this first heaven and the first earth, or the old heaven and the old earth, are passed away. And there was no more sea. Doesn't mean it's not going to be any more water. Saying the nations are no longer going to be in power. They're the sea. All right. It reads, and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And that's the same thing in Song of Solomon chapter 6. Who is this that shineth forth as the morning, fair as the moon? Like a bride. That's some way you describe a woman, man. So we're in New Jerusalem, right? We're born again. We're a refreshed Jerusalem, renewed in the covenant of the Most High. So John saw Israel coming down, all right? Not an actual city. The city is the people, okay? It's not an actual, this is not the Jehovah's Witness or Christianity where you got an actual city coming down out of heaven. If you have an actual city coming down out of heaven, how in the hell are the nations going to build up the kingdom? It's already going to be built if it's coming down out of heaven. Right? So we got to understand when things are literal, when they're spiritual. Revelation 21 and 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, and he will dwell with them. and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their God. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. You see that? So the Most High is letting you know, in the new heavens and the new earth, you're not going to die. You're going to be immortal. You're going to have a spiritual body. And the laws are going to be in your inward parts. And what causes death? Sin. The Lord said the strength of sin is the law. And the sting of death is sin, paraphrasing 1 Corinthians chapter 15. So if you're not going to sin, you're not going to die. Right? And you're not going to have sorrow in the new heavens and the new earth. You're not going to be depressed. You're not going to have anxiety and worried about the unknown and unforeseen circumstances and the great what if, and am I going to live today? Do I have enough to eat? Do I have enough to pay my bills next month? Do I have enough gas to get to where I got to go because I got to pay this and I got to do that? And you won't have no sorrow. Your loved ones dying and things of that nature. No crying, man. You know? Neither shall there be any more pain. That's emotional pain, mental pain, and even psychological pain and trauma. Like people got PTSD and they got trauma from their childhood. They were molested and they can't shake these demons, and even physical pain, back pain, knee pain, chronic disease, generational diseases. All these things are going to be eradicated once the new kingdom is established. That's why it says the former things are passed away. These are the former things, because right now we deal with death. We deal with sorrow. We deal with these things, but they're part of the old heaven and the old earth. Right? Verse 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. You see that? And that's what the new moon reminds us of, that the Lord is going to make all things new. He's going to take everything out of darkness and build it back up into light. He's going to make us like Simon the priest. He's going to make us like it's written in Song of Solomon, fair as the moon, full of light and full of glory. He's going to turn this earth back into righteousness, man. So there's a hope and the expectation of the will of the Most High when you see the new moon. Because the Lord is going to make all things new. Doesn't mean he's going to make new trees and, okay, you got this new species right here. Look at that new animal. Okay, then look at that. That's a new planet. No, right? The Lord already created everything in 6 days, right? And rested the seventh day. So behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. Right? These words are true and faithful. Let's go to Isaiah again, chapter 66 and 22. Right? Isaiah chapter 66 and 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith Yahweh, so shall your seed and your name remain. All right. So the Most High, he's constantly reminding you that there's something better than what you have now. A lot of Jakes think you got it made now. You don't have it made, man. We don't care how much money you have, how many children you have, how many businesses you have, what degrees you have, how many women you have, who you think you are, man. You're still a product of the old heaven and the old earth. Right? We don't want nothing here, man. We're looking for a new city whose builder and maker is God, Yahweh. All right, let's go to Hebrews chapter 12. So we love the new moon, man, because we're constantly recharged of hope. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 25. Right, Hebrews 12 and 25. Right, so like it reads, see that ye refuse not him that speaketh, for if they escaped not who refused him that spake on earth, much more shall we not escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven. So the Most High is saying, pay attention to what the Spirit is teaching you and showing you, right? And the Spirit is the Spirit of Yahweh Shah. Because in the ancient world, If you didn't listen to Moses, you didn't escape. The Lord said, how much more shall you not escape if you don't listen to Yahushua? Because his words outweigh Moses. He created Moses. Moses was a servant in the house. Yahushua built the house. You can read that in Hebrews 3, right? Verse 26. Whose voice then shook the earth. Because you can read that in Exodus 19. All right. But now he hath promised, saying, yet once more I shake not the earth, but also heaven. So the Lord going to shake the heavens, man. Right? Because when he spoke in the time of Moses in Exodus 19, he shook the earth. There was thunder, and the sound of a trumpet was exceeding loud, and it was very dramatic, to say the least, and powerful. But now the Most High is not just going to shake the earth; he's going to shake these heavens, right, and shake this first heaven and this first earth. And when he shake it, let's see what's going to happen. And this word, yet one, Slakia, verse 27. And this word, yet once more, signified the removing of the things that are shaken, as of things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain. So what is the Most High doing, man? Like he's going to do like a spiritual earthquake. See, in an earthquake, things that fall are meant to fall. Things that don't fall in an earthquake, they weren't meant to fall. What the Most High is going to do is he's going to do destruction on the earth, and things that are set up to fall, these nations, their powers, the rulerships that be, they're going to fall. And the things that aren't meant to fall, the elect, they're going to remain. That's what the Most High is saying. Let's read it again. Hebrews 12 and 27. And this word, yet once more, signified the removing of the things that are shaken. He's going to remove the powers that be once they're shaken, as of things that are made, because he created these heavens, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain. And the things that cannot be shaken are the men of the Lord, man. The servants of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Right? We are the things that cannot be shaken. Right? We can't be shaken by demons. We're not going to be shaken by the flesh. We're not going to be shaken by doctrines. We're not going to be shaken in the time of evil. We're going to remain. Right? The Lord said in Haggai, I will shake the heavens and the earth, man. Right? Let's go to Haggai chapter 2 real quick. Right? Haggai chapter 2 and verse 20. I'll read 20, right? And again, the word of Yahweh came unto Haggai in the 24th day of the month, saying, speak to Zerubbabel, governor of Judah, saying, I will shake the heavens and the earth. So you link up Hebrews 12 with Haggai chapter 2. Now let's see what the Most High is going to shake in the first heavens and the first earth. Because you're not going to have a new heavens and a new earth without shaking up the first heavens and the first earth, man. It ain't going to happen. You ain't going to build up righteousness upon iniquity. You got to destroy the foundation. And the Lord got to shake it, man. Right? Now I want to go into this word shake. So I will shake the heavens and the earth. And let's see what that shaking really means. And I will overthrow the throne of kingdoms. And I will destroy the strength of the kingdoms of the heathen. And I will overthrow the chariots and those that ride in them, and the horses, and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword of his brother. You see that? So that's what the Most High means when he's going to shake the things that are going to be removed. Everything that's going to be removed is what's written in this verse. Their military vehicles, their F-32s, their jets, their helicopters, right? Apache helicopters and damn drones and all of their vehicles, man. Their generals, their politicians, he's going to overthrow it all. And the things that remain are the elect. Right? So let's go back to this. Hebrews 12 and 28. Wherefore, we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace whereby we may serve the Most High acceptably with reverence and godly fear. So our kingdom, our heaven and earth is going to remain, and it can't be moved. It cannot be moved. I mean, like the moon. Right now, the moon, it eventually turns back into darkness, right? So you have your new moon and it builds up to perfection, but then it just turns back to darkness, man. And it loses its glory. And darkness overwhelms the light. And that happens to us, man. You might be, on fire. You might be diligent. Then a demon might hop on you. You kind of revert back to darkness. Sometimes you revert back to this old man right here, man. You wallow in your sins. Then you got to repent and get back up. And then you increase back in light. Then you fall short again. And we hate this cycle of doing right. We hate this cycle right here. Not that we hate the moon, right? But we hate this cycle that it teaches us. Continuously building yourself up just to fall short every time. Subject to vanity. The grain of evil seed in us, we hate it. We want to hit this level and not go back into darkness. And that's what's going to happen in the new heavens and the new earth. We're not going to wane back out of light. We're not going to lose light. We're not going to lose glory. We're not going to go back to the old man. Right? Because how we're going to build up to light, it will not be shaken. It's going to remain. Right? It will not be shaken. It will remain. Right? Let's go to the book of, let me see where I'm at with time. Right? Let's see where I'm at with time so I can know. All right. Let's see. I got a lot of, I'm not going to be able to get all these precepts I want to get. Right? But that's okay. Right? Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra. Right? Let's go into it. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13. Now, the number one way that's going to allow us to build up the kingdom of heaven, like we went into, is that the Most High has to destroy these kingdoms that be. He has to shake these kingdoms, right? And let's read about that. Let's go to the step-by-step process, how we're going to build up the kingdom to light, all right? And how the Most High is going to shake these things that are going to be removed. 2nd Ezra 13:10. Here's the return of our Lord. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongues he cast out sparks and tempests. So Ezra saw the return of our Lord Yahushua. The same thing that David saw in Psalms 18 or Psalms 50. The same thing that John saw in Revelation, the 19th chapter. The same thing that Isaiah saw in Isaiah, the 66th chapter and the 63rd chapter. They all saw the return of our Lord, right? And how he destroyed these nations in a valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Verse 11. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So when he saw Yahushua come with the chariot and zapping everybody and burning them up, huh? Running for their lives, and the Lord said they were so afraid, and yet there's fight. Because some of them the Most High is going to hack into the damn, whatever they call it, the motherboard or the dashboard of their jets, and hack into it and make them turn. And they're going to try to turn this way, but the damn wheel is going to make them turn to fight against Yahushua. They're going to try to press the eject button and leave. The Most High is going to make them press the damn fire button. They're going to press the button and fight against Yahushua. So the Most High is going to tap into their damn spirit, man. You know? And Ezra saw everybody destroyed. But let's see what happened. Because that's how you're going to cleanse the earth, through fire. Fire is one of the top cleansing agents. He did it the first time with water. The second time he's going to cleanse the earth is going to be by fire. Verse 12, 2nd Ezra 13:12. Afterward, so after he destroyed all of the nations, let's talk about it. Afterward, saw I, the same man, come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. So Yahushua is going to come down from that chariot and call our people unto him. The peaceable multitude are the 10 tribes, but also it's also the other tribes, because the elect are going to be there as well. All right. Speaking about the elect, because when you go through the prophecy, the elect are going to be there in that region of Armageddon. Why are they going to be there? Because they're going to get beamed up out of America and these lands, and then the Most High is going to put them in that land. then the nations are going to try to destroy them. You read about it in Ezekiel 38 and Ezekiel 39. Then Yahushua is going to destroy them. Then he's going to come down from that chariot and then gather his people unto him. Right? And we've covered that, but we may touch on it here and there. Otherwise, how is the peaceable multitude going to be in that same region that Yahushua just destroyed? Right? In that so-called Valley of Jehoshaphat. But let's read on. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry. Because some people are going to feel bad. Like, oh man, I can't believe I'm here. What did I do to deserve this? You know, I'm not worthy, right? I'm so wicked, but yet I'm here. Imagine seeing the Lord, right? You're going to have to kind of these mixed emotions. You're going to be glad, but some were sorry. Some of them were bound, right? You're going to have nations bound. And we'll talk about that too. And some brought of them that were offered, right? Because you're going to have other Israelites that are going to be offered up to the Lord, right? Not on a literal sacrifice, but, you got Gentiles, Israelite foreigners, right? Strangers of Israel's seed that are also going to be there. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awaked and said. So once Yahushua is done destroying the nations, he's going to call the peaceable multitude unto him. Right? Let's jump down to 2nd Ezra 13 and 48. Right? And let's read about it. Because after Ezra saw the vision, the Lord gave him the interpretation. Okay? Now let's read about the interpretation. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 48. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. So people are going to be found within the borders of that land. Right? Because Armageddon is going to take place in that land of Israel, around Syria, in that region, right? Megiddo, Jehoshaphat, that entire region. And people are going to be found in those borders. Now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. You see that? Because once he's done destroying the nations, it's not the end of the Bible. It doesn't say the end. After 2nd Ezra 13, you close it up, it says the end, happily ever after. No, there are other prophecies and other things that have to transpire. A lot of the chronology of prophecy is very important. Not just knowing the prophecies, but being able to put it in the timeline, whereas you can put these things in a sequence of events to know, okay, after he's destroying the nations, here's what's going to happen next. After that, this is what's going to happen. After that, this is what's going to happen. And the Most High, he puts it in the puzzle through these different prophets, and you have to pretty much, through the Spirit, put it all together, right? So after he's done destroying all of the nations, he's going to defend his people that remain, because his people are still going to be there. They're going to be, America's already destroyed at that time. They're already bombed, and it's on fire. Then the Lord put them, and that land is going to be the second wilderness. Gog and Magog already came. It wasn't no damn 1,000 years. They already came. Right? They're all going to be destroyed. After America's destroyed, he's destroying Gog and Magog. And the dead bodies and the weapons are going to fall upon the land of Israel. Right? You read about this in Ezekiel 39. All right? 38. Right? Let's actually read that. He shall defend his people that remain. What is that talking about? Let's go to Ezekiel 39. Right? So we're going into how it's going to be built up in through the prophecy. Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse 1. Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog and say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And again, this is not 1,000 years after Yahushua already returned. That is also madness. This is speaking about the same time period, immediately after continental America is destroyed. The land of America is destroyed. Right? They're going to be one of the first nations, if not the first nation, obliterated in World War III. When they're obliterated, the elect aren't going to be there. They're going to get beamed up in the chariots. They're going to see America destroyed. The Most High is not going to keep them in the chariots for 7,000 years. He's going to take them and put them back down in the land of Israel in that wilderness. And then Gog and Magog is going to compass the land of the saints and the camp of the saints. That's why it says he's going to, after he's done destroying those nations, he's going to defend his people that remain. Right? And Gog and Magog goes into Russia and his allies, the feet of the bear. And I will turn thee back and leave but the sixth part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand. Thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel. You see that? Thou and all thy bands, and the people that is with thee. I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken it, said Yahweh. So these nations, their jets, their military vehicles, the Lord, once he destroys them, they're going to fall upon the mountains of Israel. So you're going to have that land that's going to be defiled. Because Amalek is going to get blown out that land, the so-called Jew, and all praise to Yahweh Bashmi Abashai for that. But then you're gonna have damn ammunition, a piece of a jet motor here, a tank over here, dead Russians over here, Persians over here. That land is going to be like a damn graveyard, man. And we're going to be there. And that land is going to have to be cleansed, man. It's going to have to be cleansed. And Yahweh Shai is going to come down from that chariot, defend his people. And verse 50 says, and then shall he show them great wonders. Because the Lord is going to give us power to put these nations in order. He's going to give us power to rob them, to put them in slavery. He's going to show us great wonders, the same one, or it's like similarly to what he did when we left Egypt. He showed us great wonders, man. Manna, water out of a rock, and the water's being made sweet, and many such things that Yahweh Bashmi Shai show our fathers in the wilderness. He's going to show us other great wonders. All right. Now, let's go back to Ezekiel 39. Right? Ezekiel chapter 39 and verse. Actually, let's go to Zechariah. Salaki. Let's go to Zechariah 14. Right? This is Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. So when Yahweh Shai returns and he's done destroying the nations, after that, the Most High is going to give us a decree to take these nations down. And that's what it means. Thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. What is your spoil? What you get out of war? Don't it tell you in Ezekiel 39 that we're going to rob those nations? So Zechariah 14 and Ezekiel 38 and 39, they link hand in hand. Because after Yahweh destroys the nations, he's going to tell us and give us the order to rob them. And we're going to take all of the spoil. Now you can say, well, hold on, that doesn't sound godly. Why would God give us the decree to rob them? Well, let's read about it. How else is this going to be fulfilled? Thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of it. Where are we going to get the spoil from? From these nations, man. We're going to rob them. Right? Let's read that in Ezekiel 39. Right? Let's jump down. Ezekiel 39. Oh, man, this whole thing is good. And verse, I'm going to read from 6 on down. And I will send a fire upon, it's like on Magog, and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel. So the Lord is not going to have to do that 2 times. Once, then 1,000 years, you got to make it reminders. No, it's 1 time. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore. And the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, the Holy One in Israel. Behold, it is come, and it is done, said the Lord God. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in their cities, so the Most High is kind of jumping in time, right? And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years. Because all of these weapons, when you look at like the aftermath of war, especially nuclear war, you're going to have like bullets on the ground, dead bodies and weapons and burnt up tanks and exploded jets, and it's going to be all in that land. Remember, all nations are going to be in that region of Armageddon or a Jehoshaphat. We got to cleanse that land. We have to burn all of that stuff up, huh? Right? Break up all of the asphalt. And it's going to be, it's not an overnight thing. It's not going to be, okay, I woke up and I'm in my mansion and the kingdom of heaven. That's not how prophecy works, right? That's why the chronology of prophecy is a biblical or a concept, rather, that we have to learn to obtain and acquire, right? Because Christianity, they skip all of these steps and they say, okay, you'll be in the kingdom of heaven, you die, you up there, you with the Lord. How come in Christianity they don't talk about after the Lord returns? And there's a lot of stuff they don't talk about, right? But they're not going into the prophecies, the post-destruction prophecies, right? Post-destruction prophecies play an integral part of understanding the will of Yahweh Basham Yahushua as well. So we're going to burn the weapons with fire 7 years. Not literally 7 years. It means a complete time until they're burnt up, to that land is cleansed. Because we're not going to be able to build the kingdom of heaven upon all of this damn waste and weapons and tanks and stuff like that, man. So that has to be done first. And then we gotta build up the kingdom of heaven in that land. All right. I mean, when you look at let's look at Hiroshima aftermath. This is how the land of Israel is going to look, but worse. Look at this, man. See that? It's going to be a damn wasteland. You have dead bodies, tanks, jets, bullets, ammunition, and the elect are going to be here, man. See that? That's how the land of Israel is going to look. This is the aftermath of an atomic bomb, which is less deadlier and less explosive and of less magnitude than that of a nuclear bomb and a hypersonic nuclear missile. So imagine how the land is going to look after these nukes hit. Imagine decay and metal and all that stuff got to be cleansed up. That's what the Lord is letting you know. Verse 10, Ezekiel 39:10. So that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest, for they shall burn the weapons with fire. And here's the point. And they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, said the Lord God. What does it mean to rob somebody? What is robbery? Let's get the definition of robbery. Now check this out. The action of taking property, now they say unlawfully, but it is going to be lawful because the Most High is going to give us a spirit to rob them. Huh? How does that sound like a so-called white man? Right? White Jesus. In these movies, white Jesus ain't giving you the decree to rob nobody. He's saying, I love you and come here and sit on my lap and, oh, let me smell you. And no, man. The Lord said, hey, look, go rob them, man. Go take what you want. And Zechariah, he said, all your money and your wealth and gold, because it ain't going to be paper money. It's going to be gold, wealth, gems, silver, all of the stuff they got in the Vatican and these damn crypto underground bunkers. And so we're going to take it all. Right? The action of taking property unlawfully from a person or place by force or a threat of force. Right? Hey, breaking and entering. Man. We're going to break in these underground bunkers. We're going to enter it, man. We're going to break in the Vatican. We're going to enter it, man. Right? We're going to break in. We're going to snatch. It's going to be a heist. Plunder. A stick up. Right? It's going to be a stick up, man. You know? We'll have swords in our hands holding it to their neck. Right? Cough it up, man. Run it. Right? I want that and I want that, man. Give me the damn menorah back, man. We're going to find the menorah, the damn candlestick, the snuffer, the dish. That's the damn altar. It's a stick up, man. So, hey, if you want to, if you want to get down with this, man, you gotta serve the Most High. This is what we're looking forward to, man. We're looking forward to the great stick up. There's a great stick up coming, man. You know? Right? So the Most High said, and they shall spoil those that spoiled them and rob those that robbed them, said the Lord God. That's vengeance. That's get back. Right? We're going to rob them. Let's go back to Zechariah 14:1. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. So after he robbed them, we're going to divide it up. Okay, the tribe of Judah and your family, here you get this. Okay, the tribe of Reuben, okay, your families, y'all get this. Okay, the Manassites, okay, y'all get this. Issachar, y'all get this. And we're going to divvy out all of the slaves and all of the gold, right? It's going to be that's going to be a big deal, man. You're going to be drinking wine, right? You're going to have your wine in your glass properly, man. Right? Give me that Edomite, give me that double right there, man. I want that one. I want Antiochus. Right? Give me Pontius Pilate. And give me that golden chalice and 3 of them golden shekels and that crown right there from Lebanon. One brother might say, okay, I want that gold Euphaz. Give me the Euphaz gold. Man. I want Biden and I want George Washington as my slaves, man. Right? And give me that topaz down there. That's going to look good on my woman, man. You're going to bring your woman up. You're going to hold the topaz. How you like that? Yeah, I like that, man. Run it. Right? Go try to do that now. And you got these Negroes that be going to these they be looting these stores in California. They put on a ski mask. I saw this Negro taking these damn iPhones. He's just taking the iPhones. He's stuffing them in his damn pants, you know. And you can't really say nothing to these people now, man. It's these a bunch of gorillas out there, you know. They're going into Home Depot. It's a cartoon. Y'all be going into Home Depot, man. Y'all be taking all these damn stuff, man. So you don't have to wait outside at 5 in the morning. So you're just out there just taking damn drills in bits, man. But we're gonna rob these nations, right? Let's read on Zechariah 14:2. And I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. Right? That's what we read. He shall defend his people that remain, and the city shall be taken. We're going to take down these cities. It's a military conquest. And the house is rifled, and the women ravished. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. So we're going to rifle their houses. When you rifle something, let's pull that up. Rifle definition. No, let's see. Hold on. I want more. I don't want the gun. I may just go into the Hebrew, right? Because it really means, okay, here you have, right? Rifle. Search through something in a hurried way in order to find or steal something, man. So it's going to be like that training day scene. When a SWAT team come and they flip over the mattress, they kick the door down, they open up your drawers, they flash the warrant in front of your face. We ain't going to have no paper warrant. Esau, do you have a warrant? We know you're the elect. Do you have a warrant? Let a demon say that, man. Do you guys have a warrant? Here we are going to have spiritual bodies and glory and honor. Let a demon say that, man. Let me see your paperwork, right? He's going to get thrust through, man. And it's going to be whatever you find, brother's going to be, no, I want that. Brother's going to be taking through stuff, opening drawers and digging this and give me that and put it in the damn bag, right? Put it up like this and moving on, man. Ransack, right? Sift, forge, hunt, rummage, rob, steal from, loot, right? Loot, goods, especially private property taken from an enemy in war, right? The booty, spoils, right? So the Most High is with that. We're going to rifle their houses and ravish their women. A lot of brothers, I don't like that, right? Okay, brother, right? Let's read on. And half of the city shall go forth into captivity. I'm not going to do an in-depth breakdown on what it means when it says, and the women ravished, right? And half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. And it's like it then shall Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. Because the Lord is going to be with us as we take these nations down. He's going to be with us, man. This is not something we did unawares. It's not a Simeon and Levi move when they, Jacob didn't know, and Jacob said, well, what have you done? And no, the Lord is with this thing, man. Right? And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there should be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the south, and half of it toward the south, and half of it toward the north. Meaning when Yahweh shall return, right, and take these nations down, and he land in his chariot, the Most High is going to split the earth. He's going to change the shape of the earth, and it's going to be a massive shift about what's going on in that land, right? And the Most High is going to show his power, right? Tell you that. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains. For the mountains, like when you read Exodus 19, when the Lord came down in the pit before Israel, it was terrible, man. And Israel said, look, we can't talk to the Most High. Moses, you talk for us, man. Because it was so terrible when the Lord appeared before Israel. And this, where the mountain was on a smoke. And it was thunderings and lightnings and the trumpet. That same spirit is going to be there when the Lord comes down in that chariot and he returned. Right? It's that same spirit, man. The Lord ain't going to sneak up on Israel. Right? And shape shift, right, to a stranger and say, here I am. And the Lord is about drama, theatrics. If you don't know the Most High, he's about style, dramatic entrances, right? And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee, like as they fled before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah. And the Lord my God shall come, and all the saints with thee, right? So the Lord is going to return, and the angels and the elect, right, are going to be there, right? After we are done robbing the nations, right? Now, let's go to the book, right? So we know we're going to rob the nations. We're going to spoil them. That spoil does, right? Let's go to the book of Zechariah, right? Chapter 12. This is Zechariah chapter 12 and verse. I mean, this whole thing is good, right? But let's read Zechariah chapter 12 and verse 10. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. And then you're going to see the Lord, man. You're going to have to deal with this, man. Because really, after you take these nations down, you're going to be throwing them in these prison pits. Let me get that first, right? And then I want to go back to that, right? Let me go to Isaiah 24, right? Real quick, Isaiah 24 and 21, right? Look, quick precept. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. So this link back up, kind of going back a little bit, link back up with Ezekiel 39 and Zechariah 12 and Zechariah 14 and 1, right? Now, when we rob these nations, we're going to be put them into captivity. And the Most High said we're going to put them in these, we're going to have these little prisons and put them in these prisons. We're going to take them out these prisons eventually and bring them back into the land of Israel to build up the kingdom. And they should be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. So we're going to visit them when the Lord wants us to bring them back to Israel to build, right? Once it's time to build up the kingdom of heaven, we're going to visit them, right? Now the details behind, are they going to have food? Or it don't say all of that. It says they're going to be in the prison, and many days they're going to be visited, and they're going to be visited. We're going to lift open that big metal damn door, right? Open that cage, put chains on them, and bring them back to Jerusalem. But also, before they build, the Most High is going to put us in our rightful order. All right? He's going to put us in our rightful order. So this is Zechariah chapter 14, right? Bear with me. Salakia. So let's go back to the Zechariah chapter 14, right? Zechariah 12, Salakia. Zechariah 12 and 10. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. and they shall look upon me, whom they have pierced. So we're going to see Yahushua face to face. And they shall mourn for him, as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. So you're going to have your head down, right? You're not going to be dapping up the Lord like he your mans, or, you ain't seen him in a long time. You're going to be ashamed. The Most High going to put that spirit of shame on the church. And that day should there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadadramon and the valley of Megiddo, meaning when Josiah died, right? And it was a great mourning for him. It's going to be another mourning like that. And the land shall mourn, every family apart, the family of the house of David apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Nathan apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Levi apart, and their wives apart, the family of Shemaiah apart, and their wives apart, all the families that remain, every family apart, and their wives apart, right? Every family apart, and their wives apart. So there's going to be a mourning for the Lord, right? And the Lord is going to be in that wilderness, right? This goes into that second wilderness, right? Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 20, right? Ezekiel chapter 20 and verse 33. As I live, said the Lord God, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face. So also, not only are we going to take these nations down and rob them, it's going to be serious too, man. Because the Lord is going to plead with us face to face. And then it's really, okay, we're going to get this stuff in order. You're going to see how it shine. It ain't going to be no murmuring. If you murmur, your head getting chopped off. You get thrust through. Some people going to get purged out, man. He's going to plead with you face to face. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you, said the Lord God. It was a get down and lay down in the wilderness, man. It wasn't really optional. It wasn't, do you want to keep the commandments? All right, well, if you don't want to, that's fine. Where's the account of the Lord saying if you don't want to keep the commandments, that's also fine? No, it was keep the commandments or die. That's how it's going to be. Here's the order. Here's the structure. Here are the 12 apostles. If you got a problem with the 12, then you're not going to live, man. Because you're going to have men that are given positions in the wilderness, like the Lord set up Moses and Aaron. The people might not like that. They might get emotional. How the hell is this Peter, man? He was in that camp. How does this? That's John. That's James. That's Abraham. He's Abraham. People gonna be nuts. That nigga's Abraham, man. You know? He's the one that was doing this, man. Right? So the Most High is gonna be setting order up and things in the kingdom. It's like in the wilderness. The Lord did that in the ancient times. Remember, the Most High set up in the wilderness heads of the thousands, heads of captains, captains of thousands, and leaders of the tribes. Right? And all of that is going to be established. That's when the Most High is going to put the structure together. That's part of the new heavens and the new earth, putting the kingdom of heaven in order. Okay? This is before it's built up. Right? Because we have to be put in order first before we put the nations in order. So this Numbers 7 and 2. Right? There's no new thing under the sun. That the princes of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of their tribes, and were over them that were numbered, offered. And you're going to have these men, right? It's not just that the 12 apostles is going to reign. You're going to have other rank, other prestige. You're going to have princes. You're going to have brothers that are over the tribe of Judah. This brother, he's over the tribe of Asher. This brother, he's over the tribe of Manasseh. He's over the tribe of Gad. You're going to have heads of the fathers and princes of the tribes as well. And Yahushua is going to let you know who those men are. It's not up to you to make yourself that man. Yahushua is going to make you those guys, man. right? And that's going to be worked out in that time. Let's go to Luke chapter 22. Right? Let's get this. Luke chapter 22 and verse Salaki. I want 29. I'm gonna start at 28. Luke 22 and verse 28. Yea, are they which have continued with me in my temptations. See how Yahushua speaking to the 12. And I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father hath appointed me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in the kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's a heavy lot. Certain men are going to be sitting at the table with the Lord, man. Right? There's no telling if that table is going to have 10,000 seats. It might have just 13. Right? One for Yahushua and the rest for the 12. Like what they call your VIP section. So certain men are going to be that close to the Lord, man, eating at his table. And the Lord is going to tell them things, man, how they're going to set the Israelites in order. Right? He's going to tell them, okay, John, this is what you're going to tell these men over here. Okay, Andrew, here's what you're going to do right here. And those men are going to be setting things up in order. That's what it means, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. They're going to get the order from Yahushua, and they're the ones that's going to be leading Israel. Remember, they're the foundation of the city. And they're going to stand up in great boldness in the resurrection. And why not? They're the ones that was with the Lord, man. There's some of the first spirits when you got when you get the understanding. There's some of the first spirits that were created. That's why they're that close to the first creation, right? Yahushua. And then Yahushua created them, and they're that close to him. So yeah, they're going to be the ones telling Israel what to do, man. And the Lord's going to have people, the nations, build them these set thrones in Jerusalem. Right? Like the Lord said, there are thrones, set thrones of the house of David. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 122 and verse 5. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. It doesn't say one throne. It says set thrones, the thrones of the house of David. The top throne is for Yahushua. Then there's going to be other thrones set up, and Peter's going to have his crown on his head. Then John is going to have his crown, and then James is going to have his crown. Then Andrew's going to have his crown, right? Then Nathaniel and Philip, and they're all going to have their crowns, and they're going to sit down in their thrones of glory, right? And then you're going to have the Lord set up. You're the prince of Judah. You're the prince of Reuben. You're the prince of Asher. You're the prince of Issachar. And they're going to have their crowns, and they're going to work directly under the 12 apostles. They're going to work directly under the 12 apostles and receive order from the 12. Direct reports. Like at certain jobs, they have what you call right? They have what you call an org chart. And what it does, it tells you who's in order. Man. They give you the rank instruction. You got your CEO, and these are his direct reports. It might be the vice president of finance, or your CFO, might be a production supervisor, right? Then it might be your marketing CEO. Then under him reports to sales manager, and your salesman that reports to the sales manager. Under the production, you got your production manager, then employees, right, etc., right? Quality assurance, all of that, right? Under the finance, etc. That's how that works. That's how business works. Corporations work. They got it from the Most High. It's going to be like that in the kingdom. Everybody ain't going to be doing the same thing, man. This is a government being created. These are offices being created. And then in the org chart, there are responsibilities and expectations that have to be done by these offices, man. Right? There's a functional hierarchy. And there's going to be a hierarchy post-destruction prophetically. And the top of the hierarchy is Yahushua. And underneath him are the 12 apostles. And underneath the 12 apostles are the princes of the tribes. And underneath them are your governors, right? And all of this is going to be given. This is part of that hidden manna. Let's go to Revelation 2 and 17. Right? This is Revelation chapter 2 and 17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone. That just represents your innocency, your purity, right? Your deliverance. And in the stone, a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. Right. And when it says you have a new name written, doesn't mean your name was Joe, now your name is Bob. Right? A new name is going into a reborn you, what you're created for. You're going to live the purpose of Yahweh Shah. And you're going to know your office. The Lord is going to tell you who you are and what you're going to do and why you were created. Because you wasn't created to do the things that you think you're doing. You have a greater purpose and a higher calling that's going to be manifested in the kingdom of heaven. And that's part of the hidden manna. Right? Let's get that in Revelation 10. This is Revelation chapter 10 and verse 4. I'm going to start at 3. Revelation 10 and 3. And cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, the 7 thunders represents the angels and the heavens. There was a group of angels that uttered a message to John. And they told John things that we don't know. Right? So it reads, and when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write. And you know these 7 thunders are really talking about angels, because, quick precept, it's not just actual thunder, right? Revelation 6 and 1. And I saw when a Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, come and see. See that? So the noise of thunder is from the 4 beasts, right? Archangels, the angels, the spirits, right? Revelation 15, right? Let's see if I get this. Actually, I want, bear with me. Let me just type this in for sake of time. Just to show that this is Revelation chapter 16 and 18. That's what I want. And there were voices and thunders and lightnings, and there was a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. So the voices and the thunders and the lightnings is coming from the angels. All right. There are those 7 thunders that are uttering their voices. Right. That's what Revelation chapter 10 and 4 says. And when the 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things which the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not. So there are things that we don't know that was given to John by angels, by spirits. And that's going to be given to us in the wilderness, right? How to use your spiritual power, how to wield your weapon, how to uphold your office, right? How to conquer this nation, right? The knowledge of the roots and the herbs and what that constellation actually means. It's not meant to be worshipped, but it means this. And the Pleiades means this. And Arcturus, here's how you break that down. And that scripture was really talking about this. And that man is really this man. And all of that is going to be given to you in the kingdom. All right? All of that will be given to you in the kingdom. The government will be established. Let's go to Zechariah 12. Right? This is Zechariah chapter 12 and verse 5. Right? Zechariah 12 and 5. And the governors of Judah shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and the Lord of hosts their God. So you're going to have the 12, you're going to have the princes, right? Then you're going to have these governors. And some of these governors are going to be over 10 cities, right? You're going to have men that rule 10 cities, that rule the Moabites, that rule the Ammonites. You're going to have men that have to get the Ammonites in order, that are going to, like I brought up before, right now, I'm there's no actual account of this, but at the most I might put them in a chariot, man. You know, like we brought up before, man, and send them first class to the land of Ammon with 20 other thousand chariots. And that man might have 50,000 men under him with weapons of war. And they got to go and subdue the Ammonites and build up a barrack and a military base in the land of Ammon and put barracks all right there, man. And get the Ammonites in order and go out there and teach them the law. Because that's another job of the kingdom. We have to teach all these nations the laws and the commandments, man. You think we're just going to be letting them freak off and do what they want to do? No, they're going to have to learn the law. Right? Let's go to Micah chapter 4. Right? Micah chapter 4 and verse 1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. You see that? And many nations shall come and say, come, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways. So men are going to be doing that. And we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So we're going to have to be getting them in order. We got to teach them the high holy days. Believe it or not, they're going to have to keep the Sabbath. They're going to have to grow their beards out. They're going to have to keep the dietary law, the new moons. They're going to have to follow the law. And if they don't follow the law, they will be put to death. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 12. Because you might have a nation that say, man, yeah, sound good. Are you telling the Moabite man not to eat no damn mice? Yeah, whatever, man. Right? Yeah, whatever. You know? Or you might catch him kind of picking that. You saw him with a mouse. He tried to hide it. And you walk up and say, what the hell is going on, man? And they're going to have to learn that Hebrew too. Because I'm not going to be listening to no Chinese, man, in the kingdom. Think about it. We're not dealing with that, man. They're going to try to say something in Chinese. You're going to say, shut up, man. Say it in the Hebrew. Like you were taught. And they're going to butcher and they're going to try to mix it up. And we're going to, you know what I'm saying? Get it right. What is that you are hiding in your hand? Oh, and they take it out and try to take it out and hide it. And then we're going to have to bring them to judgment, man. We have to bring them. And you're going to have men under you that are going to say, we found this Moabite man eating mice, man. And you're going to be sitting in your throne. You might be in your mansion, talking to your woman, man. You might be drawing up plans in the sand on how you're going to build up the kingdom. And they're going to say, hey, Prince or whatever, Shah, which is Prince in the Hebrew, we found this Moabite man eating mice, man. You're going to have to get up, get up off your throne, right? Or they might bring him before you, man. And he's going to have his head down. He's going to be shaking, right? Because he's know you're set up over the Moabites. I didn't mean to. Show me mercy. Forgive me. And you're going to know the laws. You're going to have the laws in your inward parts, right? It's not going to be, you're not going to be emotional. And you're going to tell him the law. And then thank you. You're going to tell him, okay, well, look, according to the law, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you got to wash yourself, you got to wash your clothes and be clean to the even. And if you do it again, and you're going to tell them these things, man. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're merciful. Oh, you're blessed. Oh, King. Okay, all right, Lord. Okay, I will now do it again. You're going to say, get out. Right? Oh, okay, thank you. And he's going to go tell them other Moabites. Now, he might go back and tell them Moabites, yeah. I had to play. And then you're going to hear that. Right? And then other things are going to happen, man. So you're going to have these nations bowing down to you. Right? Like I said, you gotta get into this thing, man. You gotta feel this. You gotta want this, man. You gotta have this imagination. Right? Isaiah chapter 60 and 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So all these nations that don't serve the Israelites, they will be slaughtered and put to death. Right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 66. Slakia. I want Isaiah chapter 66. This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. Because you're going to have men that transgress against the Lord, man. That's Isaiah 60 and 12. It's not talking about a realm of hell that you're going to see people in hell. And this is That's annihilationism. People that teach that. This is speaking about a figurative way of men that have transgressed and sinned against the Most High. Fire and worms has always been implemented as as judgment. Okay, it's in Ecclesiasticus, fire and worms. Judith 16 and 17, fire and worms. Isaiah 14, a worm shall cover him. Right, so it's not literal. But let's read verse 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorrent unto all flesh. So they're going to have to come and keep the new moon, man. We don't care what they have to say about it, man. And they're going to have to keep the Shabbat. Right? So whatever they think they got going on is going to be shut down, and they're going to be worshiping Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Right? Let's go to the book of Zechariah. Right? Zechariah chapter 8. So we're going to get them out those prisons. We're going to get them out those pits. We're going to bring them back to Jerusalem. We're going to have to teach them laws and order. Then we're going to say, get to work. Right? Let's go to Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 21. It reads, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before Yahweh and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray before the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt, meaning your garment, your fringes, of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you. We have heard that the Most High is with you. So they're going to know that the Most High is with us. And they're going to be forced to serve the Most High. That's plain. That's plain. And if they don't serve the Most High, they're going to go through a famine, right? And they're not going to get rain. You can read about that in Zechariah, the 14th chapter. Right? You can read about that in Zechariah 14. Now, also, once we get them out these prisons and these pits and tell them the order, we're going to put them to work. And they're going to have to build up the kingdom. And this is after the weapons are destroyed. After those spiritual 7 years is complete, they're going to have to build up the weapons. I mean, it's like it build up the kingdom. Literal. We're not building up the kingdom. Right? They will. Isaiah chapter 60 and 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Right? So they're going to be given tools and things like that. We're going to be putting them in the mountains, and they're going to get these precious stones and these precious gems and be hewing in the mountain to bring this stuff to Jerusalem. Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, meaning all of their wealth, and that their kings may be brought. So they're going to be put into tributary or tribute. When you put a nation in tribute, they have to pay a tribute, which is taxes. And they're not going to pay Federal Reserve notes. They're going to pay cattle, gold, right? Summer fruits and herbs and things of that nature. They're going to have to pay tithes and pay a tribute unto Jerusalem at a set time. And they're going to build up literally the kingdom of heaven. Didn't Solomon do that? Didn't Solomon have builders? Right? Let's prove that. No new thing is under the sun. 1 Kings chapter 5 and verse 11. Actually, I want 13. Salakia. 1 Kings 5 and 13. And King Solomon raised a levy out of all Israel, and the levy was 30,000 men. Meaning he put a lot of people in bondage, right? And work. He made them work, right? Like they say, conscription. He made them work. 30,000 men were forced to work. And he sent them to Lebanon. We're going to send slaves to Lebanon. Then the Most High say in Deuteronomy 28:68 that we would go to Egypt on ships. And then the Lord also say in Deuteronomy 30 and 7 that all these curses are going to fall upon our enemies. So we're going to put them on ships, man. And we're going to send them to Lebanon or send them to where the gold is. We're gonna have an Israelite leading that ship. He's gonna be the shipmaster. We're gonna stuff him in that ship and send him to some island and to some land to mine out and get all of the gold. You ain't gonna order this stuff from Amazon, man. It ain't gonna be no damn next day air, UPS. All of this gold and this wealth that's gonna be used in the kingdom, they gotta go get it. We're gonna give them a pickaxe, a shovel, and get to work. And they're gonna work day and night, and they're gonna rest on the Shabbat. And as soon as that sun goes down on the Shabbat, we on their head. And right back to work. And we're gonna send them to wherever we want to send them, man. We're gonna get them out that ship, we're gonna throw them in some lye, clean them, right? They're gonna wear a diaper in a knapsack, you know, give them a little plate of pottage or something. They're not gonna be eating good. No fine lamb, no, nothing like that, right? They're gonna give them like a bowl of pottage, a clay spoon, put them in a circle. It's lunchtime, right? How Esau do us, man. They ring that bell. Okay, you put your damn sweating. You put your damn box down from the damn warehouse. You go to your spot. You hurry to eat your food. You're looking at the timer. It takes 5 minutes to get to the break room. Then you gotta heat your food up. Then you gotta hurry up and eat. And then you gotta hurry back and clock back in. Then you gotta be back picking up your box. And if you're not there, Esau's watching you, man. Time off task, nigger. Right? Step into my office. You're 1 minute late. Then he writes you up. Hey, we're not going to be writing up these nations. Ain't no write-ups. Right? It's going to be judgments. Right? So let's read this. And he sent them to Lebanon, 10,000 a month by courses. A month they were in Lebanon and 2 months at home. And Adoniram was over the levy. So you're going to have a top man over the slaves. Right? That's a heavy office in the kingdom. Solomon had one man. He was over all of the money and the wealth that the slaves was bringing, the tribute. That's a heavy lot. You might not be one of the 12. You might not be one of the princes, but that's an office right there. I was trying to say, stand up. You're over the levy. All of the nation that's working and getting the gold and the money and the wealth, you're going to be the guy. Let's make sure they get it and they bring it to Jerusalem. That's a beautiful job. You're going to love your job, huh? You're going to love your office, man. You're going to wake up with a smile. You're going to have an immortal body. You're going to be ruling the nations. And your women going to be in order. Your children going to be in order. You know, that's going to be mighty right there. Now, in the ancient world, they stoned this guy, Adoniram, huh? You know, but in the kingdom, you're going to live good over the levy. Now, let's read on. And Solomon had 70,000. So he had 70,000 that bear burdens and 80,000 hewers in the mountains. We're going to have that in the kingdom. 70,000 men you're going to oversee as slaves. 70,000 men is like a football stadium, more or less. And you're going to have 80,000 people bringing stone out the mountains and cutting down trees. That's how it's going to be. That's how we're going to build up this kingdom to light, man. By putting these nations in captivity and slavery, man. Right? Let's go to Isaiah chapter 49. Fuck yeah. I want Isaiah 49. Right? And I know I'm not going to be able to get every precept I wanted to get, but that's okay. This Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 22. Thus said the Lord God, behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. So we're not going to be walking. We're not walking around. We're going to be in a chariot. You might want to ride a horse. The nations might carry you in a palanquin, right? Or they might carry you in some type of vehicle, and they got to bear you up on their shoulders like the ancient times, right? That's what this means. You should be carried upon their shoulders like this. This is a palanquin. They show you that in these movies. That's how you carry royalty upon people's shoulders. So you're going to be in it, and this is little ass box. You're going to be in a huge like mansion, and they're going to be carrying you in that mansion upon their shoulders. Right? That's how your woman going to be carried, man. Right? And you're going to be in there drinking your wine. You're going to be in there, you know, sipping your wine, eating your lamb. The Lord said in Deuteronomy 28 that our women's feet ain't supposed to touch the ground for tenderness and delicateness. Right? So you're going to be living lavish, man. It's going to have gems. It's going to have your money in there, your wealth. Look at this. And you're going to be pointing them, telling them what to do. See that? So that's what this means in Isaiah. They're going to be carried upon your shoulders. It's not like how you carry your daughter at your shoulders at the petting zoo. It's talking about they're going to be carrying you to where you need to go. And if they slip up and they knees get weak, or you know they start talking mess, we're going to know about it. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, but they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. So they're going to bow down and lick up the dust. They're going to rule over these nations with a rod of iron, pursuant to the book of Revelation, the 2nd chapter. Let's get that. This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 25. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. So if you endure, you keep your works, the commandments, the faith, your obedience to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? You're doing this work, you're going to have power over these nations. And who wouldn't want these promises, man? How would you want to miss out on these beautiful things that the Lord has in store for you? And he shall rule them with the rod of iron. So a lot of people say, well, you're going to treat them the way that, you know, Abraham had Eliezer all day. No, you're going to rule them with a rod of iron, right? So if they out of line, you're going to beat them. The strictness of the law. As the vessels of a potter, shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father, and they will be broken down. If they show any signs of disobedience, or they cannot perform, right? They will be broken down to shivers. And they're going to be used to build up this kingdom. They're going to be used to bring a glory back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? Let's go to Tobit, chapter 13, right? Let's go to Tobit, the 13th chapter. This is Tobit, chapter 13, and verse, let's see, I want to jump down. Tobit, chapter 13, and verse 15. Right? Tobit 13 and 15. Let my soul bless the Most High, the great King. For Jerusalem shall be built up with sapphires and emeralds and precious stones, thy walls and towers and battlements with pure gold. So our houses, our mansions are going to be immaculate. And the streets of Jerusalem shall be paved with beryl and carbuncle. So we ain't going to have asphalt and potholes. It's going to be beryl and carbuncle and stones of Ophir. And all her streets shall say, Hallelujah. And they shall praise him, saying, Blessed be the Most High, which hath extolled it forever. So there's going to be glory and peace in the world to come, in the new heavens and the new earth, right? So we're looking at this new moon, the 12th new moon, to come out of darkness and build up the kingdom of heaven to perfection. So with that, we're going to close up, giving, of course, our honor and our glory to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Mashiach Malak Yahushai. It is the 12th month, the 12th moon. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Enjoy this day. Reflect and think about coming out of darkness and how you're going to build yourself up into light, and how the Most High is going to reset this earth from darkness and take it into light through these prophecies. With that, Yahweh Ba'ashem Mashiach Malak Yahushai Barakatham. Kwam Yashalom.